Hey, John here again. So this Craftsman came in as a no start, and the customer says the previous year had problems with intermittent starting, and the battery wasn't keeping a charge, but now it's a no start. So I took the cover off, and there's a, you know what that is, and unplugged everything, and I found this wire here, chewed up, broken wire, that white one. Probably can't see it there. This top one's broken wire, so that might have something to do with his his intermittent start and or his battery not charging problem. But as far as the no start goes, well, let me turn a light on here. It's almost 90% chance that this carburetor is just gummed up. Forget about all this mess here. I'll clean that up and I'll fix that wire, and we'll put everything back together. But I'm probably going to have to put a carburetor on there. That's 90% of the time what it is. But let's see. Let me clean this up, fix the wire, and see what the problem is. Still got a bit to go for that battery charger, but I just want to, this piece just goes on like this. I'm going to leave it off for right now because in case I need to get something. But Craftsman made this pretty easy with these two bolts that come off of there. And you can get to, I don't know if you can see them there, but you can get to all your electrical, your solenoid, all your relays. Usually they're hidden and you can't get in there. It's a pain in the butt. Sometimes they're in the rear fender, and these things are usually a pain in the butt, but they make it so accessible here. So I just fluid filmed everything up in case I need to get in there. I will just leave this sitting there. We can start this up as soon as that battery's done charging, and see why this doesn't start. Let's see if it's got spark. It does have spark, so let's hook the. Something came flying out of there, but I was cleaning it up. Maybe something sprayed in there. Alright, so I'm just going to get on and try to start it with, just a regular start. And if it doesn't start, then I got a plan to see if it's what I think it is. So I'm just trying to start it normally. Choke it. Give it a squirt of the good stuff. If this wants to start now, then that's all there is to it. It's the carburetor. But let's see what happens. That's what I figured. Yeah, so here we go again. I know you've probably seen this 1,000 times, but so when it comes to these carburetors, instead of taking this apart, I pointed this out 1,000 times. Taking this apart, getting the kit for it, and rebuilding this, unless your machine is like 2 or 3 years old, it's not even worth it. Just get yourself a new carburetor, because the kits that I get a carburetor kit that comes from Amazon that comes with a carburetor, oil filter, a fuel filter, a spark plug, an air filter, and a pre-filter, and probably some other stuff. Oh, a fuel line. So it's a no-brainer, and that's $19.99, $20 for all that garbage I just mentioned. So it's a no-brainer. If you were to get this carburetor separate, maybe $20. I know that Home Depot or Tractor Supply sell this air filter and pre-filter for like anywhere from $13 to $20, and a few filters maybe $5, oil filter maybe $5, whatever, sometimes more. So I get these kits, and they start piling up. I actually have a couple on stock, but this is the carburetor from the kit. I got a bunch of, like I said, stuff that comes with it. So instead of taking this off, and clean it up. The best way to go is just to goddamn take this carburetor off. I'll show you how easy this is. Take the carburetor off and replace it. So there's a little strip tie there. I always cut that just to get that. It looks like a new blade here. Wire down and unhook that solenoid, right? And because I'm replacing the fuel line, I just, first of all, the gas is off. There's probably going to be a little residual here, so I'm just going to cut that fuel line and let it pee all over. And then 10. I mean, this is just way too easy for. I mean, anybody can do this. Anybody, my wife can do this. She is not injury related to anything. So there's a breather tube here. I do unhook this from the valve cover and just leave it intact under here because it's going to be easier just to do it from here. There you go. So there's the carb, and I do inspect this just in case it's cracked or checked or whatever. It seems to be okay. I'll have to clean that up. So there's a gasket here on the carburetor. The new carburetor comes with it, but I'll clean that up later. Alright, so what's next? So you got, let's not forget this thing here. This is I think an 8. Get this ground strap on here because we're going to reuse that. The little washer. So the ground strap, and then you just, first of all, don't take anything apart until you inspect, I'll have to get the camera up here. You got to inspect your top section here because sometimes they do send the wrong carburetor and you might have to swap some parts out, but it does look like it's the same. I'll have to get the camera to show you. So the next step here is to just kind of loosen this carburetor up and break the seal. If it doesn't look like your gasket's going to make it, it does come with another gasket, but yeah, this one seems to be alright. Alright, so before we remove this completely off of here, it's just loose, just crack it loose. You take your old carburetor and make sure that everything is the same. It might not look identical, but you'll get what I'm talking about here in a second. Yeah, try this with one hand. So you see how this this doohickey here, it looks similar, and it's going to be close enough. And you do have to use this bushing here, the plastic bushing. So we're going to have to save that. And this piece looks different, but as you can see, it's the same idea. It's just the choke mechanism. It's just a little different looking, but we're going to be all set there. And then of course you got the idle adjustment. Idle adjustment here, what you have there, and then coming off of here on the original carburetor, you do the originals are always from Walbro have this adjuster here that you can that's sticking out. It's got the same thing here, but it's indented for your low speed. So that again, these carburetors come set up. You don't have to worry about this. I'm just saying the differences are if you see the stem and you don't have a stem here, it doesn't matter. It's just the same idea, and the solenoid is a shorter solenoid as opposed to the longer one that comes from the factory. So we're all set here. Again, Walbro carburetors are factory from I guess Kohler, whoever puts these together. But so everything looks good. So the next piece, oh yeah, that's what I want to show you. So the next piece, you see this, you have to get a pointer here. I have to get a pointer. This little piece here, I don't know if you can see it up here. You just release this, just take a screwdriver or whatever you got. It's just clipped on there. I have to do it, I need 2 hands. It's just clipped on there, just push up, it'll release. But it is kind of brittle sometimes, so just be careful. I'm going to get a pick in here just to save myself from breaking this. it's a little bit crusty in there. So you just need to pry this piece up, right? It'll come off of the stem, and then you'll see how it operates in a second. Let me get this loose. Let me put this camera down. There it is. Boy, it just goes in a hole and snaps on there. I was just trying to put it back just to show you. But so relieving that, it's going to be a little bit more easier, and then we can pull this off, and there should be enough room, and it should just bend just slightly enough to get this thing out of there. And then this is a Z-bend here, so we'll just work that off the Z-bend. Again, trying to do this one-handed. Follow your Z. There it goes. See, it's just a hole in a Z-bend. So we're going to put that exactly back the way it was. We're going to need this rod, obviously, so let me put this camera down. A little difficult doing it one-handed. And don't lose your little piece here. If you break these are common, you can get these, but you see how it's plastic. Just snaps over there. So let me set this back up on a tripod. Alright, so we cleaned that the remnants of that gasket off the plastic here, and obviously we're not going to use this again, but you can see where it ripped a little bit. So we do need this little plastic bushing and this rod. So this is a Z-bend as well. So you just kind of un-Z it, and then don't lose this piece. This little bushing. It's got little tabs on it, as you can see, and then we'll put that in this new carburetor hole here, right? I'm surprised it don't come with this little tab, because this tab is kind of brittle. You don't want to break it. So that's that, and then we'll put the Z-bend back in. See if you're confused. Whoop, this is the, where are we at here? Z-bend. The other side's the L. So we'll put that Z-bend back in. Like so. What the hell am I looking at here? Always the other way. So we'll just replace this plastic piece, right, and the rod. That's it. Now let's go get the gasket, put this thing back together. Yeah. So this kit came with a little zip tie for that solenoid, and 2 gaskets, one for the outside, one for the inside. This looks like the bugger here, right? So we're just going to put that sucker there, up here on the machine. We'll put this where we at up here. Put this on here, riding against the. That's that. Let's. All right. So next thing is we already converted this fella. So we need to put our throttle adjustment link back into the hole. Oops, this goes this way. Remember we undid that Z-bend? We just have to put that back in there. A little easier with 2 hands. So that's that. And we'll put this back. And again, so we don't forget this goes in to the governor, hello governor, but with that plastic clip. Remember that plastic clip? So let's make sure before we tighten everything up, everything works. That's the throttle and the choke, right? Full extension, and this is the one underneath for the governor, and that's this little fella. Remember the plastic piece? So we can put that in right now. This sometimes is problematic. It's got to go like this. So it's got to go from the back side, like so. Poke it through. You're going to need 2 hands, obviously. Poke it through. Hold it with your finger this way, and then snap it down on the rod. And I'm probably going to get in your way here, but snap it down. So just make sure everything works. Well, you're not going to be able to tell if this works, but as long as there's nothing impeding. So everything's hooked up, and we can tighten everything up. put this ground strap back on. Alright, so the old carburetor, the original guy, is just mounted to there, and then it goes to the engine block. The new fella comes with, it just incorporates it into the, you don't have to do the old ground strap up to the carburetor. So it's square on one end, round on the other. I don't know where we're at here. Alright, so once you get your stuff plugged in there, I put the ground strap back on, and it's not bolted yet, but so we're going to use the existing female end. So take this female end, save that because you're probably going to need that some other time. And then go turn the key on. Turn the key on. You're probably going to put something on your seat or whatever for your safety functions. But I just want to hear this click, because if you don't hear it click, I've had these new come in where the slide pintle, because all this is a solenoid. When you apply juice, it's just a plunger that goes up and down. I've had them brand new, kind of seized, and if you don't hear the click right away, you might have to do it a couple times. This one seems fine. So you just want to listen to that click, and now we can bolt everything back up, turn the key off. Yeah, see what's next here. We'll just clean this up. We're going to do the riding side towards the plastic, so we'll put this fella here. Right. Usually you don't even need it. Comes the heat. Put these two 10mm back on. Let's see, did we forget anything? I guess we'll put the air filter on. We'll put everything back together just because I know that I'm pretty confident that this almost never doesn't work. They're always set up, but if you're worried about it, you don't have to put the snorkel on yet. You could start the thing up without any of this on here, air filter and whatnot. And if you need to do an adjustment, whether it's to the low speed or the idle or anything. But from my experience, these things always come right out of the box. They never need adjustment. But to each his own, right? Let's see here. One more piece here. Yours is a normal, brittle and whatever. You can use the same line. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm looking right about there, right? Go to the clip. Just try to get it a little bit square this time. I don't think I've ever put one of these brand new carburetors on it and needed an adjustment. They always work. So I'm pretty confident just bolting this thing up, calling it a fix. Huh? Let me get the cover on there and start this thing up. Alright, so we got everything buttoned up here. And thought I put the hood on. Put the hood on. Alright, there we go. Put the hood on, and like I said, rarely, I don't even remember the last time I put a new carburetor on, and it didn't do the trick without an adjustment. So I'm expecting this thing to start right up. And let's see here, choke it. Alright, So that's about all I have. Thanks for watching. Again, this is something that, you know, the carburetors are so cheap. They're so easy to do. It's just servicing the thing with an oil filter and all that stuff that comes with 20 bucks. It's a no-brainer. It's easy to do, and you don't have to worry about, you know, taking your carburetor apart and cleaning it. Unless you wanted to keep the original one for whatever reason, you could take it apart, clean it up, probably do the same trick. But because things are so dirt cheap when it comes to this, you know, engine and these carburetors, I just slap another one on there. I've rarely or never actually come into a situation where a carburetor needed an adjustment right out of the box. But if so, remember that low-speed jet is up there. You can get to that. There's no high-speed adjustments on these. But anyways, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Another mower ready to go. Right?